What are some good internet rabbit holes to fall into during this time of quarantine? Quick summary: 2 young teens, Abby Williams, 13, and Libby German, 14, had a day off from school and went for a walk on a local trail/bridge in the small town of Delphi, Indiana on February 13th, 2017. After walking across an abandoned railroad bridge in a desolate area of the trail system, a man followed them across the bridge and forced them down a hill. He murdered them. The crazy thing is, Libby had been filming Abby with her phone and was able to secretly capture the start of her encounter with her killer on video before putting the phone in her pocket. Police have released part of the video/audio. It's not very good quality, but it is the best they have and captures the killer and his voice. Both NASA and Disney assisted in editing it to make it clearer, but there wasn't a lot to work with. But police really want people to focus on his movement. Even without looking at someone's head, you could pick out a family member or close friend by their mannerisms, body, way they move, etc. And you would obviously know their voice. There are a lot of ridiculous conspiracy theories out there that police have debunked, so don't fall down *THAT *hole. Stick to what the FBI/state police have released. The Delphi murders. If even a minor percent of redditors took 1 minute to view this video/audio, especially if you live in the Midwest or know people in the Midwest, there's a good chance this case could be solved today. The killer is a white male between 18 and 40, based on the picture in the video, how he's dressed, the way he moves, I'd say closer to 40 than 18. I've been down a rabbit hole to make sourdough bread. I'm fascinated now. I didn't realize how the process works. I saw some lady who's been using the same starter since the 1970s, and she got hers from a woman who used hers for the last 100 years. Edit. Heck, this thing really blew up. People are asking for links, as I'm sure there are thousands. This was what a friend shared with me that started me into this now black hole. Seems like a good lad making bread. The Boyle-clad Bothadal. Here is a list of a couple hundred small homestead skills to build. Make a mallet with a branch and a hatchet. A bit of sewing. Make an adobe brick with mud from the backyard. Sharpen knives and tools. Dry some food. *=EDITED to fix typos. Good one. I'm going to go though that and see what I can do. You could always have a go at the internet's hardest puzzle, not prom. It's been online since 2004, but only 67 people ever made it through all 140 levels. I've been playing since 2007. I'm in the 70s now. I thought reading about the Death Valley Germans was super interesting and took a good few hours to read and do my own research. Edit. If it's asking for a login/password, that means the site is overwhelmed. I know it's frustrating, but I didn't realize it would get this much traffic. Try again in an hour or 2, and it should be fine. Cannot recommend this one enough. I'd never heard of them until Reddit. A harrowing tale of how smart, sensible folks find themselves out of their depth, but only after the point of no return. How easy it is to go missing. The family that couldn't sleep. I believe even the Vatican are involved in housing them and trying to come up with a cure. http://09/09/health/fatal-insomnia-family-curse-somethings-killing-any/index.html. For 200 years a noble Venetian family has suffered from an inherited disease that strikes their members in middle age, stealing their sleep, eating holes in their brains, and ending their lives in a matter of months. In Papua New Guinea, a primitive tribe is nearly obliterated by a sickness whose chief symptom is uncontrollable laughter, Ike. Laughing death or laughing sickness in Papua New Guinea is called Kuru disease. It's a disease caused from eating human remains, particularly the brain. Something to do with a protein which broke down nervous tissue after being eaten. The Rotten Library. Rotten.com/library has an archive of essentially a pre-Wikipedia with hand-written articles on weird stuff, cults, murders, etc. It's cross-linked, so it's easy to get lost. It's a relic of when the web was just scattered information with no real way to find it. The Rotten Library was my teenage introduction to so many oddities that today get reposted on Reddit every few months. Edit. Found a mirror. Rotten Library mirror. Same. I spent so many hours on rotten.com in my teens. My mum and I were obsessed with it. Opened my mind to a world of stuff. My 90s TV. This is a fun, novelty website where you can easily lose yourself for hours with nostalgia. Basically it uses YouTube videos to simulate watching TV in 90s and allows you to specify the year you want, along with what categories you want to see when you change channels. There is also a My 80s TV and a My 70s TV. If you're into music, there are a ton of great channels on YouTube. Rick Beato does a lot of music and song analyzers. Alex Ball has done some documentaries about Roland and the Prophets synthesizers. All really interesting history and information. True Cuckoo is a dude who has a ton of videos about synthesizers, drum machines and jams. Not to mention tutorials. There's so much that you can learn. I started with guitar and recently I got into synths and drum machines, and YouTube is a great place to get to learn from plenty of talented people. I missed a ton, but I guess you can do the exploring yourself. Take a look at Adam Nailey if you're into music theory stuff. That channel blew my mind when I discovered it. My saved posts on Reddit take the time to go back through them and act in some way that reflects why you saved the post in the first place. It's fap time. On YouTube, I have been viewing this channel named Horror Stories. It's a collection of short but brief real-life horror stories of people who died in the most horrible, unimaginable, and unsuspecting way. No clickbaits, on-point storytelling. Mr. Nightmare is also pretty good at real-life scary stories. He has a great voice for telling scary stories and makes good use of stock images and stock video to create atmospheric visuals. TV tropes. You'll suddenly start to refer scenes in movies as, wow what a tearjerker, and your whole family will hate you, but god is that website so fun to lurk. Modern Russian history. Start reading about Rasputin, and then go from there. Good stuff. Rara Rasputin Dancing Queen. Science channels. From entertaining to informative, science channels have been my favorite types of channels to binge. Source is one of the best at this. Backyard Scientist, Mark Rober, and Slow Mo Guys to name a few. And if you're up to a mental challenge, go for really heady, concept, theory-laden channels like PBS Space Time and Quantum Gravity Research. Kurzgesagt is also very good. So go to Wikipedia and pick a country and look at the history of their leaders. Can be interesting to see a list of them and the politics behind it, especially African countries, cause they're wild how often they switch and for why. You could always play the Hitler game. Hit a random page on Wikipedia. You have 5 pages to find Hitler. Maybe you could find out what's on the second page of Google. I've been getting into reading about quantum mechanics. I figure if the quarantine lasts a year or two I still won't understand any of it. One professor at my uni said, if someone tells you that they understand quantum mechanics, they don't. Try researching the DuPont family, not the medical field, innovative part, but the fucked up evil incest haunted house parts. It's hard to find info, because billionaires control everything, but it's there. Also, inside the pyramid, the temperature is maintained at 20 degrees Celsius or 68 degrees Fahrenheit. This temperature never changes, and is actually equal to Earth's average temperature. The tombs are aligned in north-south with an accuracy of up to 0.05 degrees. This happened in an era where modern-day precision tools were not even imaginable. Every 26,000 years the pyramid will align itself with 4 constellations, which represents the equinox cycle. It is believed, just believed by the Egyptians, that every around 26,000 years something devastating happens on Earth. I'm not sure, but I guess it is when they align. This was believed to be a warning. We are currently close to it. There is a error of maybe 100 years in that. Learning history is my best way to time pass. Currently, I'm diving deep into pyramids. It's pretty damn interesting to know how they did that stuff. Imagine lifting 2.3 million blocks each, the weight of elephants, to that height, and that too, so many years ago, when humans were. I would like to share a few things that I learned. Maybe you might like it, and go deep into it. Here you go. From ground, viewers will not see the indentations and hence, they can only see 4 faces. In order to see the indentations and all 8 faces of the pyramid, one needs to go aerial and add 2 when the lighting conditions are perfect to make the 8 faces visible. The 8 faces of the Great Pyramid are visible only during autumn equinox and spring equinox during dawn as well as during sunset. Those are the times when the sun casts a shadow on the pyramid, making the indentations properly visible from air. Okay, but go on. http://www.kahanacademy.org/I recommend this because it's become obvious that part of the problem right now is how many people didn't do well in school, me included. Big part of why I love this site, or did not have the opportunity, and thus tune out valuable information they don't understand. I wish more people took advantage of the fact that scholastic information is free, or close to it. Just gotta look for it online nowadays. Before the internet you had to be lucky enough to afford education and live in a place where that kind of opportunity was available. Most people in the past didn't get to change their future as easily as we can. My father's hope as a kid in the 70s was to, one day, be rich enough to have other people go to the library and find out things for him. Google's a fair bit cheaper. Chris Chan, A Comprehensive History. Edit. Guys, this blew up, holy shit. Shout out to Gino Samuel 2.1 for making a killer series. Another good one is Jason Genova and the Del Rey Misfits. Jason Genova is kinda like the bodybuilding Chris Chan. The Del Rey Misfits is more general and Jason is a recurring character in a wide and vast array of people who are all a little off that work out at the same gym. Someone in another thread recommended the YouTube channel Geography Now. I have been binge watching it for the past week. Really entertaining, big to learn about all the countries in the world. Blender.org and YouTube tutorials. It's not a rabbit hole since 2.80. Left clicking works now. /r/transcribers Reddit is a pretty good way to kill some time by writing transcriptions for people who are vision impaired. r/John Titor. In early 2000s, someone began posting on several message boards claiming to be a military time traveler from the year 2036. He arrived in 2000 on a stopover for personal reasons. His primary mission was to return to 1975 to recover an IBM 5100 computer which was needed to debug huge computer issues that would arise in his original time. Some have disregarded this as an elaborate hoax. The rubbies. There is an anticipated Y2K style computer frying event. Look up Unix 2038 problem. And only like 5 people in the world knew the IBM 5100 debugging programming existed, which was later confirmed to be true by someone involved with the project. His stories contained predictions from his timeline, time travel theory, physics of his machine, and even schematics of the time travel device. All his posts are archived. Enjoy your trip down the rabbit hole. Oh, that's why Titor sounds so familiar. They use this story in the anime, Steins Gate. The Titanic didn't really sink. Instead the Olympic did in an insurance scam. Eater, I don't actually believe this. It's just one hell of a theory to read. This is the best conspiracy theory I have ever heard. SCP and Warhammer 40k. Emperor text-to-speech. Greeting custos. How are you this day? Gels Marble Runs. Watch the Marble Olympics. I've followed this channel loyally since I found out about it, and it's quite interesting to me, cause I haven't had an interest in watching sports since I was a kid even. But I find these races and other events so fascinating, and I take sides, and have favorite teams and athletes etc. And RN3 is a marble and everyone who said he isn't is wrong. But it is genuinely fascinating, and the caster makes the videos so much better. I'm not a huge fan of Marbula 1 compared to the Marble Olympics, but if Greg is casting it I'm watching it. Ah, the old Reddit Quarantinaroo. Hold my corona, I'm going in. The SCP universe. That's not just a rabbit hole, it's a black hole. Normally, I recommend the Wikipedia list of unusual deaths. I still do, but with the disclaimer that as we isolate ourselves to protect our physical health, the isolation may be damaging to our mental health. Reading about unusual deaths might not be for you right now. If you're good to go, here's the link: http://en.wikipedia.com reddit.org/wiki/list _of _unusual _deaths ? What prov equals sign s flat 1.